Welcome, welcome everyone. This is my Aries archetype, understanding the ego video.
Tell me how to think.
Hi there, it's Heather with Underwater Panther. Hope you enjoy. Push the like button and subscribe if you like my information, and thank you in advance. Now that we have talked about the ESTP and Aries keywords, the cardinal modality, the spring representation, the fire element, extroversion, right dominant brain use, the first house or I am, and the cognitive attitude of the ego psychologically. We also covered a short disclaimer on how there are many different subtypes of Aries and what affects our personalities, as well as how your temperament determines your place in the world. I covered what is the hero cognitive function within the ego. I already posted the right or go-to ego actions explained, as well as how Mars influences you. The last video was about what is extroverted sensing and covered some extroverted sensing characteristics. I decided to take out number 6, so we are moving on to how an Aries or ESTP acts out SE and Mars in a positive and negative way. With a Mars influence in a positive way. You can be a master of details due to having such a strong grasp of outer reality. You're able to make clear, quick, rational decisions with effectiveness in mind. You can find your way around new places quickly and are normally the first to react in a surprised event. You have a good photographic memory when traveling or on the go and can remember how to get places. So you're normally good with directions. You're quick on your feet. You have a high alertness that can be beneficial in performing, storytelling, sportsmanship, or emergency relief situations. You have cleverness, dexterity, and realism that makes you shine in high demanding careers such as being a surgeon, detective, police officer, or teaching, etc. You have a tireless dedication to duty, and you are the vital core to many family circumstances. You're strong-willed and determined to your core. You have an act, not pay later mentality. You have massive amounts of energy, which is powerful, but you need to burn off that energy physically, or it will become pent up and explode one way or the other. A way to ground yourself or getting out of your head is by lifting weights or playing sports and being socially competitive and fun spirits. You really do make for an amazing athlete and worker. You tend to believe in honesty over emotions, which actually saves everyone time. You absolutely cannot stand to waste your own time. With being so honest, it allows others to plan better long term. Aries thinks short term, how can we see and do this now and be done with it? Because you want to quickly move on to something else. You're all in or nothing mentality, and you can also be a real extremist. A mature Aries is all about higher enlightenment. You can put a ton of energy into research, finding truth for its own sake. You're blunt, direct, and less apt to emotionally manipulate others. You're very sharp and fact-based minded. You are very focused on giving others good experiences and advice. You want others to have a better today and fond memories of you. You may think others need to value things differently, so you want to show others they can do things better and how to have better memories and a better tomorrow. You want others to give more people better experiences due to what you have showed them. Due to being so critical of self and others because of your TI parent, you want to build people back up and be strong yourself. You tend to make good coaches, teachers, and healers. I know many Aries leading fitness gurus. You guys rock, and here's your shout out. You are intellectually and emotionally intelligent as well as very hands-on. You're not afraid to get dirty and be in the thick of it while embodying what you stand for. Aries or ESTPs really are one of the best at lighting a fire under people's asses. You will tear people limb from limb to build them back up again. If you're in a better state, I'm in a better state, we're all in a better state of being. You're good at sales because of the exuberant, warm, but fierce and knowing and confident energy given off. You can talk anyone into buying anything. You prefer autonomy and self-sufficiency to reliance on others. You teach independence, especially as a parent. This is good for reaching higher levels of maturity with less fear of failure. You are able to see and you are able to teach that hurdles are challenges that can be overcome. Your word is your pride. You care mostly about what people think of your character due to putting everything into what you do. You have very high integrity and amazing work ethic. You could care less what people think about you besides those things. You are always focused on who you are as self, unwaveringly, no matter what people say or do. There's a lot of courage in that. You're able to flip switches mentally for deep transformations, then lead by example. You have very strong willpower. You're able to create and enforce new guidelines and systems to people in order for effectiveness to work. You know the ins and outs of systems due to questioning everyone else's authority and what they say. You're not afraid to get out of routine ways of doing things and trying new methods. You kind of just assume everyone is wrong. You want to be right, so you will look into things deeply and broadly. After that is done, you will have built a tower or library of knowledge you can actually refer back to. Aries or the ESTP just kind of stumbles upon holistic thinking. This is why you can be considered a jack of all trades, a craftsman, a logistician, an examiner, or a scholar. You turn this organized knowledge into wisdom because you aren't afraid and actually have to try things first. This makes you a skilled pioneer and even creatively inventive. You can be good at auditing science, finding loopholes, correcting others' mistakes, building new systems in a holistic and well-rounded way. Acting out as a hero with a Mars influence in a negative way. You tend to show love in a practical way. This can come across as having lack of emotions. You can take charge by self rather than working together as a group, especially with your romantic partner. This can come across as forceful and like you are upset. You just want to get things done quickly. Do slow down and try to be more relatable. Incorporate people into your projects. Realize in the end that this is why we do and create. You can struggle to express emotions and come off as cold, distant, and robotic. You don't like mundane living, especially routine chores. You can attack those things in an aggressive way without asking for help, which only leads to resentment. It can be good to get things done, but don't break your back or relationships. A great way to incorporate others and work as a team to get mundane things done is to see who likes or dislikes certain activities and decide together who will do what and when. Don't take on everything alone. You can be all about persuading others by any means necessary. You're even willing to make blows physically to persuade others. You have that marine mentality of my thoughts are smarter and better than yours, or I am better than you. You better listen and change your mind. You can have real aggression and anger issues due to impatience and being so quick-paced. You need loyalty to the point others must jump over a cliff or take a bullet for you because you know you would for them. There is no greater love than when a man gives up his life for his beloved type of thinking. You turn to workaholism to escape expressing emotions because it's easier to keep a quick pace with all of your energy, like within your thoughts or work, rather than making yourself slow down into your emotions and actually feeling them. In order to truly feel our feelings, we have to slow down and sort them out. I would suggest journaling in this case. You are considered a jack of all trades because you like to start all kinds of new projects with all the enthusiasm in the world, and you do dive deep, but then you do get bored easily and move on to something else without finishing what you started. You cannot become a master of something if you do not stay disciplined and on task. You can end up talking too much without doing anything. You like to amp people, places, and things up. This is why you are good at sales, but you know it takes a lot of energy to follow all the way through. Your initial spark, or your fire element, is like a volcano explosion, not slowly climbing up a mountain. You're good at the initial sail or spark. You want to be the face of something, but then want someone else to do the finer details that slows you down. You prefer to be out in front or the face of things rather than doing behind the scenes work, in a lesser form of maturity. In a negative light, you can be very insensitive with what you say due to being so direct and blunt. You say what needs to be said. You'll say things before thinking, especially when upset or having an explosion. Truth cuts deeply. The fiery sword of truth is a double-edged sword. Aries or the ESTP is okay with burning oneself though. but the nature through Mars can ruin relationships. You are not afraid to be the bad guy. This can be a good in parenting by being a strong leading figure, but can go too far in all relationships. You can possibly vent too much to those who love you, which eventually pushes them away. This can stem from being self-absorbed, always thinking about how yourself sees and feels things. Your partner and those close to you are not your therapist. Try focusing on speaking on goals and positive things rather than toxic venting. SE dominant in a negative light can get you lost and stuck in wanting to learn all of the things. You take in massive amounts of information, which can also strain relationships. You can focus on projects and information gathering rather than people and being relatable. You're very prone to getting stuck in your own thinking. You need to ground yourself by socializing, doing physical things, and opening your mind to lessen your biases. You can be far too competitive, always wanting to be right, combative, argumentative, won't hear people's thoughts through. This can be balanced by working on your feminine energies. Be more receiving and don't compare yourself with others. This is a major Mars-like influence within your personality. You may cause a lot of arguments and deal with power struggles in your relationships. At the other end of needing to work on your feminine side, perhaps you are too far in your feminine and are caretaking to the point it has totally ruled over your life and you do not have your own personal life. Too much of a good thing is not actually a good thing. You do feel a major sense of duty to others. It is a very hard transition for everyone when others close to you get older or something happens and they need to be taken care of. It is not your fault or sole responsibility. I know you may feel like you can take on the world and more, but do care to take care of yourself first so that you may have longevity and can give others your best self on a daily basis. Ask for help and delegate responsibilities. You are only one human being and mortal. Be sure to live your life. And this concludes acting out as a hero with a Mars influence in a positive and negative way. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, I'm going to go over what is the apparent cognitive function within the ego. And yours is influenced by introverted thinking and the sun, and we'll go into depth into each of these. Also, if you liked my video, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. Be on the lookout for new content. If you would like an astro-psychological interpretation of your natal chart, the links are below. They will send you to my landing page, and there you will see an introduction video, as well as more information.